Here we are. What's up, guys? Welcome to Live on Two Wheels. It's a different type of show today. First things first, let's get all the good stuff out of the way. This is Live on Two Wheels. We are a weekly motorcycle live show that is also a podcast. If you're watching it live, hopefully you're watching it on the Live on Two Wheels channel. If you're not, you should go subscribe to it. Also, yeah, good call out there. It's gonna be a shit show because as you can see, there's something not quite white about Chase today. Producer Trey is filling in. Chase is out with some family issues. Our thoughts go out to him, but he left us alone, and so we're gonna try to do the best we can. So once again, this is Live on Two Wheels weekly motorcycle live show. You can catch it live on the Chase on Two Wheels channel, but we also go live now 2 places at once. The Live on Two Wheels channel, there's a link in the description. We are going live. I already see some people that are in from there, so super cool. It is also a podcast, like I said. It'll go up on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and I believe Google Podcast, though I don't know anybody that uses Google Podcast. If you're on Apple Podcast, leave us a review, preferably 5 stars or whatever you feel is appropriate. Sometimes it's 5 stars. Today it's probably going to be a 2 star. So go over there, leave us a review. Do we have a review? Ghost is in here too. He's going to be helping us. Do we have one?
We do not have one.
Okay. So
sorry.
We tend to skip those quite a bit, but we do read them, so leave them, and I'll do my best to get one for next week's show. All right, so before we get into today's, I just did the Chase thing too. Before we get into it, we are going to be talking about what it's like working for a YouTuber. Anybody who's watched the show knows that I like pulling back the curtain a little bit. I kind of skirt the line between idealistic and realistic when it comes to stuff like this. So I like to kind of show people what it's like on our side. It's mostly going to be us talking. We're going to be checking out chat, and if you have questions for us, just shoot them in the chat. Either myself, Trey, do you have the chat up?
It's for YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the chat up.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at those and kind of talking back and forth. But mostly it's going to be us kind of talking about what it's been like. I've been here 3 years. You've been here since January. So kind of pull back the curtain. Show you how the sausage is made. So we're going to go ahead and go through the list of things that I don't normally do. Without further ado, the Moto shout out we do in our Discord. We have a section for Moto Photo. It's one of Chase's favorites, I know. I pop in there every once in a while. I can't show you how to get to the Discord, but there is a link down there. Usually we have this set up to where his computer is going to my screen for our browser stuff. So we're having to it's a janky setup today. But the link down below for the Discord will take you there. We have a Live on Two Wheels section, and in that section, there's also a thread for the Season 2, Episode 20. If you go in there and just put memes, you can roast us if you want to. That'd probably make me feel better about what's going on tonight. And at the end of it, we'll spend 5-10 minutes going through those and just laughing and having a good time. But the Moto Photo, are we going to be able to bring this up?
I mean, worst come to worst, I can always just turn the laptop around.
Yeah, I don't think we can, actually, because right now I've got a very precarious setup. Let me double check something. So for those of you who have tuned in before, you'll know that I can bring up stuff that's on his computer. Well, he's not here, and his computer's not here. So let me see. Actually, yes, I can. Okay, good. Bear with me a moment, because I'm having to do literally everything. All right, so Moto Photo this week, Hillbilly Hipster, which, by the way, love the name. That was a new ST.
Mm-hmm.
That's sharp. Good looking bikes, man. I love the platform that it's built on.
The fact that he got one, because nobody can get one of these right now.
That seems to be the case with most new bikes that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
I almost wasn't able to get to the LT Gray because you can't freaking find them anywhere, and anybody who's been searching for a T7 knows that pain as well. So, cool bike, cool looking bike, hillbilly hipster, favorite name ever so far today.
I wonder if he's a fan of ZZ Top. I feel like he'd be a fan of ZZ Top.
Is that a thing? Yeah, your reference is sometimes that
ZZ Top. You've never.
I know.
I've
heard of ZZ Top is, but like, are they hillbilly hipsters or are they just hillbillies?
They were playing R&B blues kind of music, but they had like the long trench coats and long beards.
Yeah. I know who they are. I'm just saying. What did that have to do with? All right, so we're gonna go to. I can't believe I'm gonna be doing this without Chase, but.
Well, I'm sorry.
The ghost tip of the week. Not the whole thing, you dingus. Ghost tip of the week. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I can't believe I'm doing this without Chase. First off, let me see if I can bring it up full screen. And then light travels faster than sound, which is why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. I actually like that. I do like that. That's from producer Ghost. His Instagram. You put your Instagram on there. Awesome. He posts those after every show. Chase would know that if he had been, following you for the entirety of the time. He is now, though. He's making up for it. So, good deal. That's good. It's almost better that he's not here for the Ghost tip of the week. So, here's the thing, Ghost. Your tips of the week, they're great. I don't want to take away from them, but his enjoyment of them is what annoys me. Like he's over the moon for him.
But that's what I enjoy about it. And then I enjoy how angry you get at him for it.
Yeah, it bothers me. I can't actually tell you why it bothers me, but it does bother me. All right, so we're gonna go through the ghost tip of the week. This will be an interesting one again because. Where usually we have to kind of pull back on the reins with Chase, and so the quick shift is going through a couple of the topics for motorcycle content, and he only has like 30 seconds to talk about it because he will go on forever. So let me bring this up. There you go. Let's hope this works too, by the way. Oh, no sound. Okay. There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear it. BMW G310RR teasers coming out ahead of launch. Expected July 2022. Interesting. I did see a couple of videos pop up of their the GS310, like the adventure bike or touring bike or whatever it is. I have not seen the RR. I like the low CC. Like we've talked about it in the shop before. Like they go and do a track day on like 400s.
Now is this going to be more something compete with the R3 or more of like a RC390 from KTM?
Probably the latter.
Okay.
Woo! Patent shows inflatable parachute vest for riders that deploys only during high-speed accidents. Sounds like a real drag to me. Also, what in this? That's insane. I honestly have never seen anybody with like the airbag ones, but I mean, like, you have to wear a parachute while you're riding. Nah, that's a hard pass on me. I mean, is this just like regular people?
Hold your
What the hell? No, thank you. Cardo Systems, Midland, and Uclear jointly announced creation of new open Bluetooth intercom industry standard. Thank freaking Christ. There is no reason why this shouldn't be ubiquitous. Like, we should have every manufacturer getting on board with this. This is good. Big fan of Cardo. Never used a Uclear. Have no idea who Midland is. But if everybody can get on board, yeah, I'm down for it. Triumph acquires OSET, a children's electric off-road bike maker. This continues a trend like other OEMs expanding to youth electric options. That's pretty dope. I'm a big fan of that. We've seen, let's get on MotoFest in Texas. They had like a little track with these little tiny things. going around. The kids were ripping it.
Did you know that there's a kid's trials bike?
Yeah, I did not know there was a trials bike, but that's pretty dope. Kind of like a balance bike or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen the FTR one and a couple of the others at events. Dope. I love it. I wish I was introduced to this stuff as a kid.
Hey,
Hey, it's Trey.
me.
UK National Motorcycle Museum lets members ride its classic bikes on a closed course. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Bro, no way. Why would you... Here, open to the public. Bro, I've seen some people dump demo bikes left in 1955 air.
I really want to go to. Is that bad? I really want
Dude,
to go to
some of
this.
these are really nice, too.
What does it take to be a member?
Right?
Bro.
Oh, ooh, that's a better question.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is my favorite part. Midland is pretty decent as well. Okay. It's an amateur radio and CB radios. Huh. I did notice that Cardo, I believe it was Cardo, that they did the KTM one and then they did a Honda one. And I'm just like, all right, they're killing it. Cool. So that didn't go too bad. My computer is literally screaming out at me right now. All right. So either my phone is going nuts. Okay. All right. Just making sure it wasn't Chase telling us that like something else is on fire. All right.
Everything's not on fire.
I don't know, but it's time to do a little housekeeping. We're gonna go a little long on this one because we've got a lot of stuff going on.
Very much so.
Yep. We're in crunch time. We're not gonna. I got to be very mindful how we say this. If you watched last week's live on Two Wheels, you know that like we're making a lot of changes to a Wreck Bike rebuild. The site is getting more attention. That is live, by the way. If you are on Patreon, go ahead and move over to the site. In fact, I think if you sign up on the site now and kind of move your subscription, you have to. It's not they're not connected, so you can't go like, oh, I'll just do it from Patreon. It's like it's a whole new thing that's going to take place at Patreon, and you get double entries right now. So. But in that move, that means that we're pretty crunched right now, and we'll talk about some of that here when we get into the topic. But the other thing to consider is that Trey is going out. Where are you going, bud?
I'm going to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Twin Cities.
Yep. I'm going to venture a guess that we can say who you're going for.
Yeah, I don't think it's an embargo event.
Okay, so CF Moto, right?
See.
Is sending you out. Going to do some demos on pretty much their whole U.S. fleet, right?
Yeah, and based off of some of the things that they sent me, I might be able to do some off-road stuff too. Don't know how that's going to work out, but
cool.
I'm not going to say no to a
eat
side
shit
by
and
side.
come back with a broken leg. That's cool. So he's going next week, right?
Yeah, I leave on Monday.
Monday. So you'll be gone the week, right?
Pretty much. I
Pretty
come back
much.
on Wednesday, and then I turn right back around on Friday and head for Mississippi.
Yep. And then Get On Adventure Fest is quickly approaching.
Yeah.
Me and Chase are going to be up there. If you haven't got your tickets, you should do it now. I've been watching a lot of videos from last year's from Black Hills, South Dakota. It looks like a load of fun. All the ones in the Mojave looked great. It's looking like we're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff up there. Like they have different levels of trail riding that you can choose. You can do a whole thing that's on pavement, beginner, intermediate, expert. So those are all like Rever led rides. And then me and Chase are going to be taking off. Our buddy Matt at Harley sent us a couple of routes. So we're going to check those out. And that's going to tie into our ADV Bros content, which we are pushing really hard for as well. We've been in the process. You guys, nobody has seen any of the videos. They're still in backlog because we are in crunch time. But we've been doing a lot of stuff to the Tiger, working with brands like Outback Motortech and Kriega and things like that. So that's coming along. We only got like really a couple more things left to do on that, and then it's time to get Chase a bike. So all of that is tying in. We've gotten 3 ADV style videos.
I want to say so, yeah.
that has come out. One of them, two of them actually are out now.
Yeah, one came out today. Go watch after this.
Yep. That would be like the gear, ADV gear video, and then we did the scouting mission type thing a while back. Really want those to take off because we're having a load of fun, and unfortunately in the world of YouTube, when we enjoy it, it tends not to do as well. So we've got that. Wreck Bike Rebuild is ramped up like full speed. We are doing an episode, or we are filming, I should say, because we're not doing whole episodes in a day, but we're filming every single day to try to get as much done. You know, the waiting has been horrendous. Parts, you know, shipping, all that stuff, and we're ahead of that now. So now we're in the part where, like, get shit done, get as much as we possibly can. And then the Iron Butt, like Nick was just mentioning, that's also going to be coming out. I'm putting the finishing touches on that next week. So that'll be out sometime. I think it comes out the 30th. But I mean, we got so much stuff. We're juggling left and right.
Yeah, and we're not even doing like the same thing every day. Or I mean, Wreck Bike Rebuild, but it's like we're always doing a different type of video. Right.
So here's the thing, and this is part of what we're going to be talking about today as well. Is like while that's happening every single day this week, right? Has been Wreck Bike Rebuild.
Yes.
That's just been happening in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, so we're same workflow, but it just kind of this backdrop of also we've generated, so we filled up our server today. So it's like we've been filming every single day at Wreck Bike Rebuild, trying to get this done and get the other two bikes finished and ready to go. We finished up the 1000, so it's just, I think, the reveal video and a first ride, and that thing's ready to go off to the winner. That poor guy who has been very patiently waiting on the bike to get to him. But the other two bikes, they're on the precipice of, like, it's going to be all downhill from here, like, barring, you know, knock on wood. We're at the point where we're ready to start just slapping the parts on and all the pretty stuff and be ready. But it does create a bit of an interesting dynamic in the shop when everybody is super busy. I honestly don't know what you do during the day, Trey.
It's a lot of prep work and just small housekeeping things, like looking at analytics, thinking what could be the next best video. So,
all right.
Hey, Bo, I got a question for you.
What's up?
When are you going to change the text at the bottom of the screen?
That's a good question. All right. Well, I almost had everything.
You know, while we have a moment, if anybody in the chat has an idea for a video that I'd like to see with the Sportster S, I'm constantly trying to figure out what's the next best thing to do with that. Please,
can you tell
let us know.
My battery on my keyboard is dying?
What?
Yeah. It skips vowels. Okay, so I think did I hit it all, bud?
Yeah.
I think I hit it all. There's nothing else that I missed there, Ghost? It all looks good, right?
I see a bunch of
my check marks. I didn't fuck up too bad. Cool. All right, so what we're going to be talking about, like I said, we want to kind of pull back and let you see what like a day-to-day is, like working. There's a lot of misconceptions, I think, with content creation, and a lot of people will know now, at least, a lot more than they used to. When I first started doing YouTube, it was in 2013. It was a different environment, and it was not widely seen as a smart business venture. But nowadays it's a little bit different. So more people are kind of aware of the ins and outs and what it takes to run any sort of kind of business like this. But there's still a lot of misconceptions. So I think the first place we're going to start is, well, I mean, you're the newest guy on the roster, right? You're the fucking new guy. So I'm going to start. Trey, it was January when we...
Yeah, I got here in January.
Yeah.
But I got hired, or I started my internship around November, say last year,
Yeah.
No, or October, one of the two.
Remote internship.
Yes.
Yes.
While trying to pack up a house and move a girlfriend and 2 dogs
Yes. And your home.
and home.
Yeah,
Yes.
your home. Your home, which is a bit a big point of contention here.
Oh dear God. Yes.
So, in whatever you're comfortable sharing, Trey, because a lot of people don't. They've seen you like piece by piece, like poke your little head in.
Yeah.
And anybody who watched you, it got a really good reception for the Nightster and the Lowrider ST videos. We sent a little baby bird off to fly. And he came back with some damn decent content. So,
Nice.
but outside of that, a lot of people don't know who you are, what you do. I've worked with you all year. I almost know what you do. So let's start with what you did before you started working here.
So before I started working here, I was working for a government contractor. It's called Newport News Shipbuilding. Only people that build aircraft carriers or aircraft carriers for the United States. So going from a semi-government style job to here, it was like night and day because like you get it from your computer. You have to lock the screen, and you can't talk about like what exactly you do. I still can't talk about what I did, and it was super stressful because I had gotten to the point where I just started to have responsibilities but no power, and then I get here and it's like, okay, here's everything all at once. Have fun, and it's like no, I need you to get me up to speed here. And I want to say I was coming up on 5 years at the yard, and I feel like I'm at the same place I am here now that it took me 5 years to get there.
Oh, wow. So what made you, if you don't remember, guys, last year, Chase put out a call for a writer. We were looking to expand our kind of workflow and the types of videos that we were doing. And so we put out a kind of a call to arms. Trey was one of the entries. And what made you, when you saw that post, decide to say, yep, I'm doing that?
I can't take credit for this one. It was actually my girlfriend.
Nice.
She had come home. She gets off work, or she used to get off work probably about 2 hours before I did. So she walked in the door, and I showed her the fact that, oh, hey, there's a post. Like, what do you think? Because she had been looking for another job. I had been looking for another job kind of loosely, and she was just like, yeah, apply. Because like I had already come up with the plot or the script in my head. It was about comparing the Harley Sportster, or the sound of a Harley Sportster, to the sound of a buffalo bellowing. And it was just like, there's no reason that we should compare this to a horse. This is a buffalo. And it was just like, nobody else is going to have that. Just such an off-the-wall concept. And yeah, she was the one who pushed me. So everything gets chalked up to her.
She's to blame.
She's to blame for my success.
I will say, and I took up a lot of there was a lot of participation on my part for like the whole hiring, because like it's the production team, like that was, so he wanted me to be a part of that. And the thing that we liked the most was the way that you wrote was, well, first off, it sat well, like on its own. Like you can teach like the informational stuff, but like the voice of a writer is important. And that was the thing that stood out. But also it was very conversational, like it fit in with what we did. So you reached out because of your lovely girlfriend.
Yes.
And then you moved from Virginia.
Yes.
To Georgia.
Yes. In the middle of an ice storm, by the way.
In the middle of an ice storm, in a truck and an RV.
Yes.
2 dogs and 2 humans.
2 dogs, 2 humans.
And you have been moving ever since.
Yeah.
Well, such is the life of like RV kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be like that forever. We do have plans for the future. We aren't going to speak them out loud so the universe can have its way with it. But
No doubt.
We are trying our best with what we have.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, if on this side of the fence, you can't really tell that you live a very chaotic and nomadic life right now, because like what you've done. So a lot of Jamil was saying that he loves the writing that you do, and you've gotten some really positive feedback. So here's a dirty little secret: is like pretty much at this point I edit everything, and pretty much at this point you write everything.
Yes.
So since pretty much around February, we've transferred over to you writing almost 100% of what happens, and when we try not to, it fails. So
I think the last thing we did was the Insta360 video, and it was just like, I think it was a consensus from the entire shop. We're just like, yeah, no, never again. So this is the way that we're going with things.
Yeah. We kind of just went off the cuff on that one, and it didn't land real well. So, like, I'm curious because I've been far removed from it. It feels like I've been here for ages, and we'll get into like my shit here in a minute. But for you, it's just been since January. Like, how do you feel? This is a pretty chaotic time to be a part of like a YouTube channel that was one already established and built off of a single person, and now, I mean, pretty much this is in any office that you would go to, the personalities are different, and the kind of work that we're doing on the end product is different, but the whole process is, in my eyes, fairly similar. So how do you feel now when it's, June o'clock?
Oh, man. You know me, I love my references.
Okay,
so
here we go.
It feels like there was a cam swap on like my life. So like I'm no longer running here in the rev range. I'm running here or here in the rev range. Yeah. So it's just like it's wide open throttle all the time. I know eventually it will settle out so we can get back into an idle, but it's just.
Well, so we're like, I'm curious what the thing that was most surprising to you coming in, because I don't know what you expected when you came into a YouTube channel, but what was the thing that stood out that was the most surprising and kind of not expected?
The fact that it is just we're just a couple guys in a shop. We make the joke, we don't have HR. We don't have HR. It's really just like we got to talk about whatever is going on. And sometimes we fail at communication, but we try our best. Yeah. And if we don't get it one day, we'll get it the next day. So I think that was the biggest surprise. Other than that, I guess you guys are who you are on camera. Yeah. It's maybe just turned up a bit, but you have to play the game. So it's like, we kind of turn it up a little bit, but anybody who's met me in real life knows I am annoyingly energetic, and that comes across in the videos as well. But I mean, the shop is a good melting pot. Everything rhymes.
Well, I think all of us our personalities kind of jive too, so that helps. It's also the biggest difference. I mean, like, okay, so somebody was like, you guys ever worry about the longevity channel? Age can chase, and you guys keep doing this, retirement age. This is one of those things that kind of fits into that. By the way, Nick, it was a great question, because we do talk about these things. The biggest surprise to me coming into this, when I first came in, I worked IT for 15 years. Yeah. I was a systems analyst, and it was an okay job. It was just a job that I naturally could do. So I just kind of fell into it, and I did that forever. And when I came in, my mindset was like, well, this is going to be a flash in the pan kind of, like you can't do YouTube forever. And that's not necessarily true. I think that was the biggest surprise for me. And you come into this, and this runs just like a business. Yeah. And like, the methods and the personalities are so far from what I would ever expect or see in an office, like a corporation or anything like that. But the inner workings are the same. Like when we have to deal with market research, we have to deal with, marketing and sales, and we have to deal with, sponsorships and running the website and all these kind of things. The inner workings are exactly the same, and the beauty of it is that we've built these kind of skill sets to be able to carry us even outside of what we're doing on. If YouTube failed right now, it would hurt. we'd be fine. Like, we've built a pretty good skill set.
Yeah.
And have in the past done things outside of YouTube as a company, and I think that's where it would be. That was the biggest surprise for me, though, coming in and, like, I think I said this once before on a live. I saw what Chase was doing because he started in, like, I think, what was it, 2010, doing Chase in 3D, something like that.
Yes.
And then I started doing videos in 2013. And then I did that for like a year or two, and then a buddy of mine was doing D&D stuff, and they had a producer lined up and all this jazz, and I was like, oh yeah, I want that because I like being part of a team. And then that fell through like a year later, and I just kind of stopped. And so for years, I just kind of it was out of my head. The first time that I went with Chase up to the mountains, he had the speed triple, and he was doing a video up there getting, like, I think he was doing a first ride, but he was doing it up at the mountains instead of his normal spot.
Mm-hmm.
And watching him work, I was like, oh, he's taking this seriously. He works harder than most people that I've seen at a job, you know, where the people are making, you know, $70,000, $80,000 a year to have a team of 7 people to do whatever they're doing. Like, he works hard. And I was like, that was the first time I saw it. And then when I came in here and got to peek behind, you know, the inner workings of it, I was like, oh shit, this is a machine. This is an actual machine.
Now, I do have an interesting question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Were you a subscriber before you started working here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So here's how it happened. In 2013, I had a truck, an old blue Dodge Dakota, that we had bought brand new in 2000. So 13 years old, and it just blew the fuck up. Literally blew up. I came up off of the off the off ramp at 285 in Roswell Road, and I was on the off ramp, and it goes, and then all of a sudden smoke, and the whole thing was on fire. And so I got like a little scoot because I was 5 minutes from my work where me and my wife lived, and I was like, okay, cool. So I'll just get the little like ruckus, and I'll go back and forth to work. And then something was going on, and I was, you know, I'm just the kind of person I am. I consume YouTube. So I went to YouTube and I was looking up how to fix this one thing, blah, blah, blah. And then just, you know, algorithm played its game, and I started seeing more and more content. The first person I ever subscribed to was Brandyland. That was the first like more motorcycle centric YouTuber I subscribed to, and then Chase came. And so I want to say it was 2014. He did the second moto meetup, and it was like 20 people, and I had just gotten my FZ and my license, and I'd been riding for 2 weeks, and I went out there for the group ride in the pouring rain. And then we clicked, so we just started hanging out every once in a while that we could, because he worked, you know, very hard on running the channel by himself. So we just made excuses to
Go hang out.
And like, we used to do these photo adventure things that bombed horribly because we both enjoyed doing it. We would just go out, find a cool spot, take photos, and they just do the moto vlog for the whole section. And they did horribly. Nobody responded well to it. So I'm like, that was the joke earlier, that like, if we like it, it's gonna fail.
Yeah, which we really got to get out of, because we've enjoyed, I would say, most of our shifted, like our
shifted,
true blue
yeah.
shifted.
Yeah, shifteds are a different world. If you guys haven't seen any shifteds, like, that might be some of my favorite content we've made, and we've kind of found our rhythm with it.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we have to take in consideration, which was like another learning point for me coming in. That it isn't just about like, oh, if you make a video that you enjoy, then people will enjoy you enjoying it. It's not necessarily the case, because there's a lot of metrics that play into it. Finding the right topic, finding the right way to film it that grabs people's attention, and it's like there's all these little pieces. Like, the amount of time that we spend on a video before it even gets filmed is
astronomical sometimes.
It's insane. Like, prepping up for Like, we've been prepping up, me and Chase, for Get On Adventure Fest for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
And we're still prepping. Like, we're still making sure all the pre-work is done. The shifted videos, like, month in advance, 2 months in advance.
Yeah, because the Iron Butt, that was, I think, the longest running planning ever. Or
Yeah.
ever, or to date, because we're not ever, but
Yeah.
it's like, what, 2 months? It's like, we started talking about it before I even left Virginia. It was like, before Wheels Up. Like, hey, I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Chase was, like, fully on board yet.
That was a huge, like, culture shock to me, because, like, I exist in a world where and we've had this conversation off air before. It's like, I feel like I consume the most content on YouTube as just a general rule. Like, I use it for everything. I pretty much just watch YouTube from the moment I get home to the moment I go to bed. My wife is over there watching whatever old show she's watching, and I am watching YouTube videos back to back to back to back. It's how I learn. It's how I, get entertained. When you see it and you go like, oh, I want to make a video. Like, back when I started, I was like, oh, I want to make videos of me experiencing, motorcycling for the first time and blah, blah, blah. And they did okay. That wasn't like crazy, like maybe 1,000 views or something like that. But like, getting into a position where you have the resources and things like that, then you go, oh, this doesn't work. Like, we can't do this video because people don't give a shit about taking photos. That was a hard lesson to learn. It was like, me and Chase had a load of fun going out and just riding around, finding a spot, taking photos. And it was before we started really caring about like all the pre-production kind of work. And you get the miss and you're like, oh, well, fuck, I had a lot of fun. That's what started the whole thing. It's like, oh, we had a lot of fun. That means it's not going to do well, because that's usually what happens. And to be fair, the shifteds are fun, but not in the same way where it's just like, hey, let's just bring a camera and do the thing that we want to do, and then hope somebody. It's like, we have fun because it's 3 of us just like out there doing that.
Yeah.
Like, the Iron Boat was not fun. There was no single part of making the Iron Butt video.
That's not true, because
like,
him
we had
rolling into
one
Bucky's
small.
And you being in the onesie. That was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun. That part was a lot of fun.
See, you're already going back on what you were saying.
Yeah,
man.
okay, that
fun.
one part was a lot of fun, but then it's overshadowed by like the hours and hours and hours of just driving. And then we are like, okay, well, we're not done yet. We're in Florida. We still have a whole state to go. So, like, it's not fun in the sense that, like, you're enjoying yourself. So usually if I'm enjoying myself while it's happening, like, I'm just like, I forget that we're making a video, it's going to bomb. It's like, that's just the rule of thumb. And it's because there's a lot of hard work. Somebody in the chat, let me scroll up a bit, was asking if you knew, was it?
Do you know what you do?
Yeah, no, question for you both. If you knew how hard work it was, like now, would you still have started working for a YouTube channel? And like, the answer is yes. I still would have done it. I even my worst day here is better than my best day working for a corporation who does not give a shit about me and just views you as a battery that can be soaked up, used, and then thrown away and replaced with a cheaper battery. Like, that's corporate. My experience with corporate world is like, thank you for doing the thing that I could have done but didn't want to, and so I needed you to do it, and now I'm done. I discard. Even my worst day here is better than that. And I get frustrated and I get like whatever, but it's not even a question of like, I wish I could have prepared myself mentally and gotten ahead of things a little bit more. We're at a place right now, like as a team, where we're really focused on the pre-production, because as you've seen since you've been here, when we do that, and I know I harp on it a lot, but when we do it, it goes fucking so smooth, dude. Like, it's not even a question. Let me look through here. Title card was misleading. It had a street ADV helmet, not one. So you talk about the helmets in that video. It was pulled at the last minute just because for time. And there's not really, and I mentioned it in a comment. The difference between street and ADV helmets, we use the helmets because they're the most representative of the differences between them, and I needed a versus. We'll probably do another thumbnail or whatever, but we pulled it out because it's like if we were cramped for time. It was a last-minute video, and really, at the end of the day, there's only a few differences between helmets. I will be wearing mine because I like it, and it's wired for video. Chase will be wearing his for the same reason. He likes it, and it's already wired for video. But, you know, if Brett Tax wears a regular helmet on the... his is modular, but it's a regular street helmet, like a sport ring. If he wears it out there on that GS, then, yeah, fucking wear what you want. I think in the video that the part that didn't make it, I said, just don't wear a fucking bicycle helmet. Just like that's, you can wear what you want. Any of the gear that you want to wear, you can wear. Don't think that you have to get ADV gear. It's beneficial, but the helmet, if the helmet's, you know, safety rated and comfortable, fucking wear it. Doesn't matter. You can put a little cardboard piece for a peak if that's what you really want. The only thing that I would say is a nice to have is the filtered vent. Sorry. But let me get my place here because I don't want to go too long, and I'm trying to juggle like 4 screens at one time. If you see me staring off like off to the side, it's because I've got chat on one side, bots on the other, restream.
See, I'm also trying to find that same question that you somebody asked. They're just like
I don't want to murder his name. I don't want to murder his name. Nerdy?
Nerdy? This isn't the YouTube live chat, right?
Yeah, it's in one of them. You might be on one.
Oh, yeah. Got you. I'm on
because we are streaming on both places simultaneously now.
Which, by the way, if you aren't subscribed over there, please go subscribe. We're trying to get that off the ground and living on its own and doing big things over there. Yeah,
hopefully. So once the changes, so that's the other thing is like we can't really talk about some of the changes that we're doing internally yet, and it's not my place since it's not my business. I merely work here, but we are trying to get Live on Two Wheels to be its own thing that can live independently and grow on its own, because it's hard to, and this is the other thing, a lot of people don't realize this, the reason that we stopped doing some, because I remember there was once upon a time we used to do like live episodes on the Chase on Two Wheels channel itself that was out before Live on Two Wheels, and every time we did it, it would tank the algorithm, because the algorithm sees like, oh, you usually have this amount of content coming out, like, oh, this is a 14-minute 20-minute video, and then now you have an hour-long video, and then it fucks with the algorithm. There's so much like meticulous detail behind the scenes that can make or break a channel, and then that's just what YouTube tells you that it wants, because in reality there's some stuff that they don't tell you that helps it and whatnot. Yeah, the beak is beneficial when it's sunny on ADV helmets. I will agree, but again, you don't need it. The works. Bo, have you now decided full in on C2 Hub? Notice that you ditched most of your own content. I privated all my videos. I do plan on making them. Once the Tiger is complete, you'll start seeing more stuff from me, because on the weekends I'll be going out and doing stuff. So there's going to be Adventure Bros, me and Chase, and I think the way that we landed on it is like it's me, Chase, and anybody else that's available to go. It's going to be kind of a group thing. But I'm also going to do my own stuff. So my channel is empty right now. I privated, I think, all of my videos, and I don't want to give up on that, because I'm now 40 years old and I've reached a new kind of chapter in my life. It is a little bit daunting to see the level of work that we have to do with a three-man production crew. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing in the long list of surprises, was how much work such a small team has on its plate. Like you get to see all of it before it even gets to like my desk. Your job is to prepare all of the content that is coming down the pipeline. And so you get to see like, okay, this week you've been writing what, like preparing for like 3 or 4 videos, right?
Yes.
That's just this week. It's Thursday.
Yeah. And I've also been given the order to like, all right, so you need to chill out. You've been writing too much, and we got to get caught up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what kind of person you are in that, but it seems like they were fairly similar. When I first got here, I was doing community manager stuff, getting the Discord server like spun up and like alphaed, and doing a lot of stuff on that end. And then
it branches out. I
just started editing videos to help out. Yeah. And as soon as I started doing that, we got like 5 weeks ahead. And it was like, oh, okay. Well, now we can't just make up ideas.
Yeah. Right? But I mean, luckily, it's like there's always something in the shop that I like to do. Like Brian does his best to involve me, helping like turning wrenches and whatnot. Which, I mean, you can attest. Is just like I'll sneak off and go start tinkering with something, and just like I'm supposed to be writing. This isn't what I'm hired for.
I mean, we got a full plate like all the time. So that does. I know you've talked about wanting to do stuff as well, but like you know. Like building like the cool little
heck, just wrapping my Cardo. The fact that I got it out like the day before the whole KTM collab, and it was just like, oh man.
Yeah, so we all have these like little things we'd love to do, and it honestly, like, this is something that when I was in high school, so I was an 8th year art student, which, and I don't know how it is now in high schools, but when I was in high school, basically we're allowed one like art kind of class a semester.
Yeah.
So you could have a 4-year seal on your diploma. I went to a vocational school, and my counselors were like pissed off because I would just come in, test, get the best grade I could in the test, and then never show up for class just so that I could get just enough to pass the class. And they're like, clearly this is not working, so what can I do? I said, give me another art class, so I'll have 2. So I graduated with an 8-year art seals in broadcast and mixed media, mostly sculpture, photography, and I didn't do anything at all with it. Like I basically was told from the generation that raised me, we're the generation of people who, like my mother, she came out of high school and got her first job.
You know, not to cut you off, but something I forget that may add context. Yeah. Is it 20 years in between us? Yeah. So that's 20 years in between high school as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So completely separate worlds, but continue. Because I'm going to tell about my experience with high school and art. But
yes, continue. I'll get to the ad, Ghost. You chill the fuck out. I'm telling a story. And so when I got out of high school, my mother, who was a lovely person, but she came out of high school and got a job and kept that job for 45 years. So it was very much the generation of your dreams are dumb, do them for a hobby, go get a regular job. And so that's what I did. Coming into this position was like, oh, my dreams weren't dumb. I just had to treat it like a fucking job. Like that was the thing that was missing. It was like, it's not just like fun and games all the time. You have to put 100% in all the time for anything you do. If you want to fucking sell, hand-painted seashells, you can do it. You just got to put the time in to market yourself, and like you treat it like a business. When I came in here and I saw the way things were running on the back end and got to see a little bit more of that, I was like, oh yeah, did you just do this like it's a job? Because it is. So you can do anything. There are so many people out in the world right now that are just living their lives, doing whatever the hell they want. And the ones who succeed are the ones who put in 100% of you treat it like you would anything else. The people who fail at opening businesses, it's either, the circumstances which they try, or they're just like, oh, this will be easy money and I can just do this. And then boom. No, you're not putting in the effort. That was a huge, like, eye-opening moment. It was like, I'm an adult now. I'm 40 years old, and I'm looking at it. I'm going, oh, yeah, we can totally do this.
Yeah.
This is a job. It's just a regular job. It's just a job that I really fucking enjoy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, high school, 20 years. Holy shit. 20 years between us?
I want to say
roughly?
So. You're 40 this
I'm 40.
year.
40
okay, so
this
no,
year.
It's more of like 12. My bad. I'm 28.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I was about to shoot myself. Like, good Lord. 20 years?
Let's get this added, and then
let's
we'll continue.
Get the ad in, and then we'll come back.
What's going on, guys? This episode of Live on Ontwowheels is brought to you by Revzilla's RPM membership. What that is basically a membership program that only costs $60 a year, not a month, but a year, and you get a ton of rewards from it. It's kind of like Amazon Prime for Revzilla. So if you're buying a lot of motorcycle gear, especially on Revzilla, this could be really interesting for you. Check out all of the things you get for this. So you're gonna get free 2-day shipping and returns. You're gonna get 10% off exclusive brands. You're gonna get 5% cash back, period. Also, for you first-time members, you're gonna get $15 in cash back from the moment you get this membership. It's also gonna include early access to sales and phone lines and exclusive events. So if you're somebody that buys a ton of gear and could find a lot of value in this RPM thing, by all means, we'll have a link for you down in the description below. Thank you guys for supporting the show by going to that link, and thank you, Revzilla, for sponsoring this episode.
RPM membership also applies to cycle gear and J&P cycles. There, I updated the ad.
We'll see you guys with the rest of the show.
Might accidentally be getting high right now for my neighbors. Just fucking paint everywhere.
So, Bo mentioned it off screen or just before the ad ended, but it does smell like paint in here. And even though it may be giving us some type of like contact high, it takes me to like back to college where it was, everybody's rushing to get all their stuff done in the middle of summer semester.
Did you finish college?
I did.
What did you get your degree in?
I went to school I started off for business.
Yeah.
I got one semester and my mom was like, "You look so unhappy." Do something that you actually want to do. Is like, you've always been into art, which could take us back to high school, but like go find something you want to do. And like I had wanted to do graphic design, but it was like I'm not that good. I was okay, but so I switched over to graphic. Found out it was more of like the operators of the art world. Like these are the Navy SEALs coming in. So it's just like, okay, let's do drawing and design, and it worked out because it's like I can tell you how you can do it in Photoshop, but I could also go paint it by hand, which, like I told you, I like to tinker. So I don't want to just like paint a bike. I want to paint a bike. I also want to break down the engine. I want to learn why a engine sounds the way it does. I did a whole deep dive trying to figure out why a Ferrari V8 sounded different than an American V8. It's the flat pane crank, if you were wondering.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, graphic design is like it's like art for math nerds.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're doing any like vector art or any like Illustrator stuff, it's just like, that's me. So I'm about to drop a bomb on people who may not know, but like my history is filled with horrible things, and I was a piece of shit for a long time. I was a junkie and just a criminal, and came out of that. And that, I think I was like 20, 21 when I got out of all that shit. But the thing that sucks is all the art that I loved to do, I could no longer do because of nerve damage. So then I found like Illustrator and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this allows me to do what I like to do in a different kind of way. I can be more mathematical about it, and it's not more artistic. So I always enjoyed like graphic design and stuff like that. I did a lot of logo work and stuff like that for our stuff when we did the D&D, and so my friend had a D&D podcast, so making stuff like that. I think even somebody in the Discord still has.
You know what, you mentioning that makes me, you were telling you had a you tried to give a go at YouTube, but it was just like it just wasn't jiving for whatever reason. Where I had a hard time in art school trying to justify like, oh, like I'm going to sell my art, but I couldn't get it out of my head where it was just like, my stuff isn't perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to be perfect. And I could attain that level through, like, Illustrator or whatnot, but then I felt kind of disconnected to a certain extent. So it took me forever to get to the point. Like, it wasn't but, like, a month before I moved down that I first put my stuff up on Redbubble.
Yeah.
And it was like,
oh, damn.
I made my first sale about, I think, 3 weeks ago now. Somebody, I want to say in Belgium, but it was just like I just couldn't justify it, wrapping my head around just like somebody's gonna buy my stuff. Just so you know.
That's a common. I think that's a common thing with most people in like the creative field, and something that I've noticed now. I've been to a couple of events. I've met a lot of creators, and they all suffer from some sort of imposter syndrome at some different level. Yeah. And that's just pretty much human beings in general. Like, I find myself, like, I'm always in a state of, oh, they're going to find out. they're gonna figure out I don't fucking know anything at all, and they're gonna find me out, and I'm gonna be outed. And that's my life. I've gotten to a point now where I can kind of go like, I feel good about the work that I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. I still have those moments where you're just like, no, I'm in over my head. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and they're gonna know, and then I'm gonna be gone and on my ass.
And funny enough, I think YouTube or working for Chase on Two Wheels has made that like easier to like. It's a easier pill to swallow.
Yeah. Because you're not alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone, but also it's just like the fact that I can finally have feedback on some of these videos, and I know it's just like we're not gonna let each other fail.
Yeah.
Like I think I'll keep saying it until the cows come home, but like you made me look so much cooler in the Harley videos than I actually am. I'm a nerd. I was in marching band. I was in art class. There
Although
we go.
to be fair, I was the coolest kid in marching band because I was on quads.
I don't know, man. Saxophones are pretty cool. Just
There's
saying.
nothing cool about sax. Bill Clinton's a saxophone. The guy is kind of cool, I guess.
So you don't like Kenny G?
I
I mean, Phil Collins is cool too.
There is a metal band that has a sweet sax solo that I keep hearing on my Pandora. Whoever that guy is, that guy's cool. I don't know about anybody else that plays saxophone, but like, quad. So it's in drumline, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, like everybody that I know that is in this field is kind of in the same situation. Like there's all like a base of art in most of the ones that I've known. So you've met a couple of them now.
Yes.
And I've met quite a few. And the one common thing between all of them is
we all feel some need to express ourselves in a physical way for everybody to see.
There's an interesting kind of phenomenon at least in our level, right? Because we're in this like little niche bubble.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In that world, a lot of these people are just really passionate and want to share that passion and have some sort of creative nature to them and want to share it, and at the same time are mortified with sharing it because the reality in their head has been like, I don't know why people watch this shit. Like I don't understand. People watched my videos back in the day, like in 2013. It was like I had like 400 subs, and I got 1,000 or 1,200, views on a video, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Where are you? Like, where are you coming from? And then and it was like that was a little taste of like.
And all your stuff was edited too, right? So it wasn't like it was just like a raw, just up there.
No, it was edited. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't great.
Because I didn't even make it that far. I have a couple videos up on my personal
seen one of
channel.
your videos.
Was it the Indian demo day?
No, my favorite is the one that you showed me and Chase from like high school.
Oh yes, I'll have to upload that so the world can see again.
It was so good.
That was edited though. That was actually for the class that got me into video.
Yeah.
My teacher's name
Bro,
was
I'm
David
about to show my age on you. My video class was film and broadcast. We had a broadcast room.
Okay, so we had gotten a little bit further. It was digital media and sub production or something like that.
We didn't do that. We had a dark room in our high school.
Same, but we didn't use it for photos. It was like storage.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like if you were lucky, you got to go back there and like sleep in between classes, or if you had a free period when you were a senior.
It's really interesting. I am, if a lot of people that watch us know what kind of person I generally am, and I'm a very big community person.
Yeah.
And I'm a very big like collaborative kind of worker.
Yes.
I tend to shine in positions where there's like everybody's kind of working towards the same kind of goal. We all
definitely have that whole like potluck kind of feel. Everybody brings something.
Yeah.
So everybody.
Well, I mean, part of that is imposter syndrome. Like that's a side effect of that is that like I have learned that my weakness is my own self-doubt.
Yeah.
And I've learned that getting over that is by putting myself in a position where I have somebody to bounce my brain off of.
Yes.
So like when I started playing guitar, I was like 9 years old, and from 9 until 15, I was just playing guitar by myself, and I was like, well, I am the worst guitar player ever. And then I made a friend who also played guitar, and we got together, started playing, and I noticed that like, oh, I'm getting better. because somebody else's ideas kind of stretched out, and that's one of the reasons I was just like immediately I signed up with Chase. With the thing, I don't know if I've ever told how this happened actually. How I got locked in working with Chase. When in 2019, lost my job, and in January I decided to say screw it, and I started my own company. And I was like, this will be my media company. I'll offer my services for editing. I'll do my own videos, yada, yada, yada. And I put it in place. I sent out for my LLC, and it got approved in February of 2020. And I don't know if you were around then, but we had this thing going on.
The thing everybody was talking about, but we can't talk about because the thing, no money.
Yeah, no money.
No money.
So I was just like, it's kind of like I didn't know what to do. And so I ripped out all my savings and my 401k. My wife she had started her business like a year or two before that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to let her shit fail because of this whole business. So I just went ahead and I paid off the vehicles and got us set up to a position where we can just kind of chill for a minute and figure it out. And I was just like, I haven't hung out with Chase in like 6 months because he's been so busy. And I went over there and hung out, and we were talking, and it just kind of naturally happened where I was like, hey, you want to, I could use somebody to help out, loosen up the belt that, we have a lot of work that's going on.
Yeah, because if his workflow or our workflow now was anything like was going on then, I don't know how he slept. I don't know how he could think or breathe.
Chase does this amazing thing at 6 o'clock. He's done. And it used to be bad. Like he would be working like well into the night.
Oh, I mean, like I understand because like we have the
now
saying
at 6 o'clock. No, there's a time. It's like that is wife and dog time.
Like we had the saying 8 and gate at the yard, and so it's just like 8 o'clock, or not 8 o'clock. Easy there, Daniel, son. Easy. Should I get you some chopsticks?
Nah, I'm gonna fucking get it.
But you put in your 8 hours and then you go. Don't worry about overtime. Don't worry about anything crazy. And I had the hardest time turning off when it got to the end of the year last year. It was just like if there was a problem and I knew it was gonna like roll over into the next day, I couldn't turn off until it was done.
So do you find it any different here?
No, I do find it different because when I get home, it's very much like life is moving so fast on the back end of everything where it's just like I can't think about anything here, but also not saying that I hated it there because I could have spent the rest of my life at the yard. Yeah. I mean, I had a 401k or have a 401k.
Andrea's gonna be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you mean? We need to talk."
No, it's like it gave me a really good platform to build on. Yeah. Because I couldn't have got here without that, but I was not happy.
Not fulfilled.
Mental health was like what's
fulfilled
mental health?
Fulfilled is a word I use a lot. Like I was content.
Yeah.
Doing what I did, but I wasn't fulfilled. Like as a person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
because I bought my bike outright.
Yeah.
I had a roof over our heads. The truck was not paid for, but it's like I wasn't struggling to pay the truck. Still not struggling to pay for the truck, but I had the dirt bike. I got to rebuild my first engine before I left. So it was just like all these things that I wanted to mark off my bucket list, and it was like I was doing, but it was just like I wasn't fulfilled, like how you said, because it was just because you're drinking water doesn't mean your thirst is quenched, right?
You're quenching thirst.
Quenching your thirst.
So like so I did this a lot too because I had to. My previous life as an IT professional, I had to take a lot home with me.
Yes.
There was not a lot of shutting off. And pretty much at a certain time, it was like, yeah, everybody's asleep. But and now, when I don't necessarily take things home with me, but I'm constantly thinking about them. Like I said, the nuts and bolts of YouTube is pretty complex. To make sure that a channel can succeed in any sort of way, any sort of like appreciable measure, you have to think about like, okay, how do we market this idea to a sponsor to help pay for it?
Yes.
To make sure that it's what people want. Because, I mean, that's something that we constantly think about. Like, we all take our viewers' feedback very seriously. And, like, we're here to make content, but we're also making content for people.
Yes.
Like, we're making content we enjoy to make, but we've tried to cultivate this kind of... like, everybody's been super excited about the A to B stuff that we're trying to push for.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, cool. Like, we have to take that in consideration. I'm going to be doing it either way. We may or may not do it as a channel because it might not be something that people want. So we always have to kind of keep that in consideration. But we're also thinking, like, you know, how do we get this thing that people are showing interest into in the hands of people that are going to watch it? How do we get it to new people? How do we make sure that we're, you know, producing at the same quality as we need to be? Like, there's so many little pieces, and that's, like I said earlier, that's just the stuff that YouTube says, hey, do this. There is a whole nother level of stuff that has been demonstrably true that isn't anywhere in YouTube's, like, guidelines of how to market yourself. And that just takes knowing how to market yourself. Like, that's a whole different skill set. There's so many things. Like, Chase's job basically is my last 3 bosses crammed into one, and my job is basically the last 3 in a stack of positions where I was in my last job. And, like, we're all wearing different hats. Yes. And we're all, like, doing this multiple. We're running essentially what should be like a 9-person team
with 3 people. So we are overclocking at best.
Yeah, and so I take it home with me, but it's not a burden that I carry home. It's like I'll come in the next day, or I'll text, and I know Chase hates it because, like I said, when 6 o'clock turns around, that's it. Work Chase is done, and I'll have my brain I just won't be focusing on this thing, and I'm like, oh, what if we do this? What if we got? And I'll, like, shoot him a text. He's like, cool, we'll talk about it in the morning. Like, I don't feel burdened to take those things home now. Yes. You know?
Like, it was something I was talking about making. I'm not going to speak it into existence, here. But it's like several days I went home and I was just researching different websites, companies we could work with. Yeah. Because it's just like it's a bridge too far, it feels like, for the channel and just what we do. But at the same time, it's like, I think it's cool content, and just like motorcycles are just the delivery. Yeah. Ultimately, this is like just the creativity coming out of us. And so it's just like, how can I rope this in? So it's just like in a way so that it's palatable for everybody.
I think that was another standout thing. It was the world of sponsorships and stuff, and like how that works with like trying to integrate into an existing kind of formula for content. And you'll see it a lot of there. And we do some stuff that is like what you'll see everywhere. But the thing I like most about us is that generally if we do a sponsor, it's because it's something that we either use or there's going to be, you know, outliers, of course, and we're happy as long as you're willing.
We're making sure somebody's not getting a product that we don't feel comfortable with 100%.
So like things like Simply Safe, I use them. Yes. Like I used them before, you know, I started, like actually before it was official that I was starting work here, because it was just like, oh, Chase had the stuff laying around from, you know, doing a couple of sponsors with them. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll put them in the new house and blah, blah, blah. I've been using Progressive for like the last like 8 years, you know, like we use these things, all of the stuff. Revzilla. Yeah. All of the, I already.
I bought a helmet for me. I bought my girlfriend's helmet. I bought my dad's helmet.
Yeah. So Rever, who is, of course, the sponsor of Live on Two Wheels, one of these sponsors, I've had a Rever account. In fact, when we were getting all of our signups right to get the team on Rever, I was like, I had to like do a weird thing because I'm still using my own personal Rever and stuff like that. So I use them. All the stuff that's going on to the project bikes, like the Tiger and whatever Chases ends up, like we are reaching out and we're we're the ones like going like, hey, we would like to have your product. And that's true for a lot of things. For a lot of the stuff that we do, we initiate the conversation with these people, and it's like, hey, we like your product and we want to feature it, and yada yada. And that was like another step back from what you see, fucking Raid Shadow Legends everywhere, that kind of thing. And so it was like there was like these little pieces that was just like this whole YouTube thing. One was not what I thought it was in the beginning. I thought it was just like back in the day when everybody was doing motovlogging, because you couldn't throw a fucking stone and not hit a motovlogger. It was just a bunch of kids, right? And we were just slapping GoPros to our helmets and like basically vlogging.
Yes.
But no idea of what we were doing. And the ones that went further with it, and you'll notice a lot of those people aren't around anymore. Like a lot of the old school motovloggers just aren't around.
Yeah.
And the ones that stuck around are the ones that were like, oh, I see where this can go, and I'm going to take it super serious. And like now
That's just having the head for that business. Not everybody has that head.
Yeah.
And luckily Chase was just like, I think
because you got people like Chase and Jake and Baker and all them. They're still making videos, still making content, and you've had new guys come up.
And like Life of Birch, he like blew up during the pandemic.
Blew up. A lot of the ADV content that I've been watching, like watching these guys. I think his name Ben. I don't want to. I think it's Ben from Dork in the Road.
I think his name is Ben. Yes.
Yeah, he went. I think it was like what I think. I just saw it in a video that he just did. He hasn't been doing this full time for that long, but he decided to go full force, and like he's killing it. He's getting a good amount of traction, a lot of sponsorships and stuff. And like seeing the serious side of YouTube was like, one, it's good because it dissolved the fantasy that you can just be like, oh, I'll just strap a GoPro to my helmet and do whatever I want. And then cha-ching. And then I get to move into a 6-bedroom house, because that's not the fucking reality. The reality is like, it's a business. And if you take it seriously, then it's like,
yeah,
it'll work for you.
But it's hard. I mean, I told you guys,
hard
like,
work.
I tried doing that with my GoPro before, trying to get the whole audio situation figured out, and then after that, it was just like okay, now I have to edit. I need to get editing software. I need to also find something that's interesting. So like, what I used to ride to go get donuts. That was my thing at the end of the week. It was just like on Saturday and Sunday, I would wake up early. I was still living at home with mom and dad, and it was just like I'd go. Like if I know that donut shop is 50 miles, that's 50 more miles that I've had under my belt now, 50 more miles of experiences, and it's just nobody's gonna want to watch that.
It's a lot. There's a lot of work, and like the really successful ones that are out there, they're get donuts on the Sportster. We need a weekly donut run for we can make that a short.
Any other type of donut than Krispy Kreme since
we need to go to Da Vinci Donuts.
Okay,
because that's the business.
I mean,
it's old fashioned donuts, so you have to like old fashioned cake style donuts.
I'm sold.
They have one that has maple and bacon on it.
Those are usually pretty good.
Shout out Da Vinci Donuts in Roswell. They're the bomb, and the only reason I know about them because I used to work right there, and that's where Blue Moon Pizza was. Shout out to their bacon cheeseburger stromboli. Which made me shit violently, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
But I'm down. But we've also talked about going to just ride to food, because there's places we know that we want to do more, like in the off hours, and do different types of things. So it's like it's
sublime.
It's coming.
Sorry, donuts.
It's on the way.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff that we want to do. So essentially, the long and short of this is, and I appreciate you guys listening to us.
We're just
fucking doing
having a conversation.
Whatever the fuck that we're doing. Yeah, producer bros. Like, it is, the real magic of it is, it's a fucking job. Like, it's a job that I enjoy going to, and I enjoy working with you guys. Like, that's the difference between, like, working at a regular 9 to 5 at an office, and there is no difference. This is what it should be. This is what you like. I envy the people that can go and be totally content and happy in a regular job. And I'm not shitting on anything they do, because the world needs like the accountants and the sales and the marketing and stuff. Because without it, the thing, nothing can run. And I've met people that love their fucking job and good.
Well, I think
I'm not that person.
I think the only difference is because, like how I said, I could have stayed at E27, or I don't know if I'm allowed to say in my department. I could have stayed at the yard for the rest of my life because I knew that I had a group of people around me, which wasn't any bigger than like the shop. And those people are still cool. I don't get to talk to them as much as I used to, but we had the same kind of camaraderie in a smaller group, and then we had management over top of us. Where now it's just like we don't have.
We are management.
We are management. And I think that's what made it such a okay change, or it made it an easier transition, knowing it's like we do have that camaraderie, and it's we're holding ourselves accountable, but meh.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all friends. Like that's our personalities go well together. And
can I just say, Luke told me that I'm his friend today, and it was just like,
did that make you feel special? Did that make you feel special?
Feel so special. I was like,
dude,
Luke
he
hates
did that.
my
He
guts,
did that.
dude.
Like no, he did. I remember. I remember it very vividly. He's like, "Oh man, you're a good friend," and I was like, "Huh? Ah! Oh my god!"
I just. It was like having a puppy come up and like just choose you, and just like, oh my god.
Well, okay, so look, like I
grew.
said, long and short of it, YouTube is there's nothing special about it. The reason that I love doing this and have signed up to go as far as this will take me is because I genuinely, there are two things that I love more than anything. One, I love collaborating with other creative people, and we are going to see more of that on the channel in the next year or two. But I like being part of something that's bigger than I am. I like being a part of a thing that grows. I like helping mold my little portion of it and doing what I can to help other people kind of mold theirs into theirs. And like we all go towards the same goal. It's different flavors, it's different paths, but we're all heading towards the same place. I absolutely love that. And this community around Chase, it's such an interesting community. But this is, I mean, again, using the term pull back the curtain, the demographics of our channel has grown with us.
Yeah.
And so it's like everybody's kind of a family, and we see these people, these names and stuff like that. And I get a lot of fulfillment out of interacting with people and the community in general, and this is the best way to reach that community is through this medium. We get to do a cool job with cool people, for cool people, and I don't hate my hour-long drive on the way home as much.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do real quick while you get your thought
we're
out.
getting
We're getting close because I actually did totally forget about
the giveaways.
About the giveaway. Hey, we do a giveaway at Cardo's Spirit. Let me make sure I got this. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen real quick. Because, again, we are in the jankiest of janky setups. Where the fuck did you put it, bro? Where'd you...
Whoa, Bo.
Where'd you put it? Where's the... There it is.
Got your LinkedIn profile here.
What's that?
Your LinkedIn profile.
Why are you fucking searching me up? Why are you going on LinkedIn? Do you like that fucking swoop-de-doo fucking suit I'm wearing?
You look like you should be
I look
in
like
a
the lead
band.
singer of an emo band. Guess what?
What's the one?
No, here's the thing.
Tonight is the night I for you.
I
That
was
one.
in a band for like 6-7 years. So, all right, let me see if I can get this up. We give away a Cardo, and to get registered to give away the Cardo, you just gotta put the words "We got 'em"
I have a feeling Ghost is gonna put my
as it is on the screen inside of the text, and that'll register you. Go ahead and put that in there. I believe it's a Cardo Spirit, which is their entry level one, which connects to 1 to 2 people. It does all the other stuff. It just has a smaller range, smaller battery, and it can only connect to like one other unit, I think, 2 riders max. But it is cross compatible. So you can do all that stuff. They're pretty awesome. And the one that gets sent out from us is... It gets sent out, Cardo, on behalf of us, is the HD. So the Spirit HD, which has the upgraded JBL speakers, I believe. Yeah. There was a video that I was going to show, but I don't know that I can do that now. Let me see if, while we're waiting on people to come in, I think I can do this. Hold on. We had one of our guys make a little video of his unboxing. Let me copy this link and send it to myself real quick. He got his Cardo and did a little unboxing video for it, and it is absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna go close this up and then should be able to. Also, if you see me touching the screen, it's because I am on the giantest of touch screens. All right, let me see if this will come up. Bear with me just one moment. I hit the wrong button. All right, this is my favorite. This is Jamil.
Salami alaikum. Today we are opening up this thing that I got as I won it from.
How long have you waited for it?
Oh, I waited for a while. But it's nobody's fault except for Vladimir Putin's. So this comes from Ukraine.
Yeah, but this is hilarious.
Never mind. It says Illinois. Comes from Illinois. Same place, right? Anyway, this is my new headset that I won from
same place,
Jason
right?
Ontwowheels, and it's got a packing list enclosed. So now I'm going to open it with this knife. I'm not compensating. You're compensating.
That's not a knife. This is a
Fucking
knife.
hilarious.
Paper. Yes.
People,
Cardo communication.
go ahead and send it. Don't forget to do the we got him in chat.
In it. Okay, cool.
I would have died if he had the
Open
blockhead
box.
just taps it instantly.
Bro,
More open.
the knife is just insane.
Stabby, stabby.
In the dictionary, next to unwieldy, it's just this.
That is the
And,
most unnecessarily sized.
There's a hat.
I like how
I didn't
excited he
actually
was for the
expect there
hat.
to be a hat. Cool.
I mean, I was very
So, yeah.
excited for my Cardo hat.
Yeah.
This
I've got
video
a
brought
pile
to
of
you
hats.
for,
I don't own hats. I don't buy my own hats anymore.
The
I
more
don't know
you
if you
like
noticed.
this video,
So, like the hat I'm wearing right now, that's Outback Motor Tech. Shout out to them because their stuff is super awesome, and we'll have a video coming out for an install from them. I just found it was hilarious. The beginning of that is my favorite part of that whole thing. He goes on to open it. Surprise, it's a Cardo Spirit. We are going to give away another one right now. Tim Warden.
You said Tim, and I got scared.
Nice.
It's my brother's name.
Tim Warden. Been subscribed since 2018. Nice. All you have to do, Tim, is send me an email, beau@chaseontwowheels.com. Screenshot the chat, like where you're at, so I can see your username and whatnot, and put the episode number, season 2, episode 20, in the title. Cardo Spirit giveaway, and we'll get you one of those sent out. Congratulations, bud.
Congrats, Tim.
Yeah. We have just enough time to attempt. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, bear with me because I want very
Smart
much so
stuff.
after you get this. We got smart stuff.
You got some
Yes.
smart stuff here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. So let me get to the. All right, point me in the right direction. Where's Ghost? There he is. All right. So, all right, get out of the way. All right. Let me bring this up, and I think I can just go left and right. Yes. Okay. Here we go. All right, SmortCon. Oh, this is we got some dates. That's right. August 26th and 28th. SmortCon, Nashville, Tennessee. Definitely going to be going. I believe you are as well, Trey.
That is the plan, if not just for one day.
If not just for one day.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
Got some
SmortCon.
family in Tennessee. We're going to go see them at the
You
same
guys
time.
got a shout out on Revzilla's live with Jen. That was pretty awesome. SmortCon 2020,
it
Nashville, Tennessee. Oh my lord. That is a mess. I do love the Smart helmets everywhere though. That is amazing. God, you guys are so good. I like the collage. Like, there's so many parts of what's going on right now. This is a mess. I just want to say that out
Or
loud.
the iPad just duct tape just.
August 26th, Team Smort preparing to leave for SmortCon. Send it. Bro, I saw that. that guy, I can't remember. I saw a video of him, why he chose to wear white, and it's non-branded. That was pretty cool. SmortCon tip of the week, Nashville, Tennessee. Fun to go to Ruckus. So this SmortCon sounds awesome. I'm going to have to check that out. And I'm like, oh my Lord. Sounds freaking amazing. Maybe someone should tell me about it. Oh, Jake. That boy is awesome and also trouble.
We're not exclusive. Anybody is welcome.
Welcome to SmortCon.
Yes.
Yes, welcome. So Smort invited me to SmortCon. Then Chase forgot to tell me. That's a great face. Brian. When the Goonie lets Bo ride the Duke at SmartCon. If you don't think... All right, so here's the thing about the Buc-ee's onesie, y'all. That thing is going to... I'm forcing it into as much content as I possibly can.
Don't think I'm not writing it into as much content as I can.
If you... I'll just say this. If you can, you're going to want to go to ADV Fest. If not, you're going to want to go to SmartCon. It's going to be making it. There you go, 26, 28. In Nashville, Tennessee. I've only been... Oh, and there's Ghost. Yeah, we already went through that. So, good. Yeah, SmortCon. SmartCon. I keep saying SmartCon, but it's SmartCon. That'll be fun. Nice little get-together. I miss the gatherings. I miss the get-togethers. We used to do the yearly meetup. I know Chase misses them. Just wasn't in the cars, and we had our, the whole everybody's dying thing. And then... our plates are pretty full now, but we are wanting to get back into it. So,
Yes.
Anything I can do.
And we got a sign-up form for SmartCon.
Interesting.
Yes, because it would be...
Yeah.
It would behoove us to know how to contact people. If, say, maybe you had one too many cheeseburgers, and now you are in a coma on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah, where can they find that?
So there's a URL in the Milo note, but I will put that in the chat at this time.
Excellent. Good. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I miss the get-togethers and the hangouts and whatnot. Let me see if I can get Discord to show up in this little fucking janky business that we have going on. If not, then we'll just have to skip it. Let's see. Oh, Lord. All right.
Weirdly, I started subscribing to Chase after you guys wrapped your last hangout or your last meetup. Because, that was never a thing.
That's right.
I started looking at videos, I want to say in 2018 when I was about to buy my bike. And it was just I don't think that was even... I don't think I saw one video about that.
The one before that was awesome. There was over 1,000 people there, and I miss them. They were a lot of fun. They're a little wild, a little out of control, but
I've only been to one other rally, or I've only ever ridden in one rally.
We had to stop doing the rides because it got too crazy. All right, let me see if this works. First things first. I'm the realist. I'm going to have to scroll down to our thread and then scroll up to the top and see what we got going on, and then pray to God that this works. Hey, it did the thing. Nice. Okay, let's see what we have here. Look at for a second there I thought that Randrew posted a bike that was dressed up like an elf. I want to point that out. Again, if you see me doing this, it's because I have a touch screen and the mouse and keyboard are losing batteries. Randrew. That's nice. I like that bike. I like that shot, too. Hillbilly hipster. I already love you because of your name. Well, that picture of that dog is amazing.
That is the picture you snap of somebody's mama, and it's just can I have a profile picture?
That's like somebody take a picture of Nana on her birthday.
Did you say Nana?
Nana. Yeah.
Nana. Okay.
Yeah.
Mama, Peppa, Nana.
let's see. He said, Wandering said, my phone loves to be frozen, but at least I have a win with the beards. Yeah, there's a lot of beards on this side now. There's not a lot of beards going on when Chase is over there. When Bo gets way too excited about SmartCon. Also, I love the fucking super low res background image on that. That's amazing. Come on, Andy, you're better than that. Elmo shrugging for no reason. More pictures of Ranjo and his bike. Okay, what is that? Is that an F4i? Or is it a Suzuki? It's a Suzuki. It has to be a Suzuki, right? Because he only ever talks about Suzukis. SV, maybe?
That's a Super Hawk.
Oh, that's a Super Hawk. Yeah, I see it now. Miss my Super Hawk. Did replace with a Ducati Hyper Motard. Great bike. Absolutely great
that was
bike.
an upgrade.
Yeah, you did the right thing, freaking Mark. That's amazing.
Have a taste for V-twins, though.
Yeah, here's the thing. I love old bikes. In theory. I can't remember when it was. I still had my FZ in the shop, and my buddy let me borrow his CB 750, something like that, like old, like 80s. And I was like, oh, it looks awesome. It's like this brushed aluminum tank and this cafe'd out. It was the worst bike I've ever ridden in my life. Like old bikes, like they have some charm, yeah, sure. And new bikes are so good. New bikes are so good.
It's like I want an RC51, but at the same time, it's like it's hot. It's not what I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
My
And
back's
good luck
gonna
finding
kill
one
me.
that's not clapped the fuck out.
You know me. I like a project.
At any rate, thank you guys for sticking with us. No, this was a weird
Thank you
one.
very much.
It was a bit of a weird one. Again, our thoughts out to Chase and his family.
Yeah.
Next week should be back to normal. And then, I'll let him do all the hard stuff, and then I'll just sit here and talk to you guys. Appreciate you sitting with us. If you didn't catch it live and you want to watch it, tomorrow goes archived on the Live on Two Wheels channel. So, with that, I will say goodbye. Goodbye, Trey.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Ghost.
Bye, Ghost.
Okay, bye-bye. That's gross.
You never hear it, Trey. Live when it happens.
That's a thing?
Here's another one. That's how I end every show.
What?
Yep.